Hello, International Clarinet Association New Music Weekend 2022. My guests today are composer Miho Sasaki. Hello, Miho.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And Michael Schelle. Hello, how are you doing?
Tom-san.
We are in Indianapolis, where we had a wonderful concert last night of 9 pieces. 6 pieces from 2020 and 2021 and 5 world premieres, so new music is alive and well everywhere. And last night we performed Swirling Interlude from Miho-san for clarinet and piano, and also Michael Schelle's world premiere of Fear and Loathing in the Carthusian Monastery at Valdemosa, which is for 2 pianos, 6 hands, clarinet, double bass, tenor sax, and percussion. So thank you last night for the great concert. It was great to come here and play with you guys. Miho-san, can you tell us a bit about your featured pieces that the audience will see this weekend?
The swirling piece.
The swirling and also the little piece in the alley.
Yes, sure. The swirling piece was composed in 2021, and it was in the middle of COVID, January. I was in here sitting in my studio looking at the sky, and there's just the snowflake starts really literally swirling, and then and the snowstorm was hitting and heading to the East Coast. And I was thinking of Thompson writing the piece for the Thompson's ensemble, and then I was looking at the window and how it was isolated. It's just very lonely feeling because nobody couldn't get out because of the COVID. But at the same time, it was so beautiful and quiet, and I just embraced, try to appreciate where we are, what we have just now at the time, and then try to express that into my piece. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was incredible getting these 2 quintets from the 2 of you. And can you tell me a little bit about the solo clarinet piece?
Solo clarinet piece was a very wonderful opportunity to write for Thomas-san, but actually Thomas-san was in Japan, and it was also during the COVID, and I'm really thankful for Thompson for giving me all the opportunities to write the pieces. We were in France through Facebook, and then Thompson took a lot of pictures, alleys in Tokyo, downtown, not the skyscrapers. It's just a little bit of the street corners and a little bit of the corner of the house. And it really gave me a nostalgic feeling, and I can feel like as if I were there. And so all the photos that you took inspired me to write a little short piece. And I combined with kind of American folk tunes and Japanese folk tune and twisted it into 1-minute piece.
Right. That piece was part of my project called Moments in This Time, which during COVID I was in Tokyo, stuck there for the first 9 months, and couldn't have live concerts, but I could have video concerts. And I asked about 50 composers that had previously written me pieces if they would want to write a short piece, and I would put these together. They were moments in this time, which could be called that time, but it is still this time. And over 40 composers came back to me with their short pieces, and Mike also wrote a piece for clarinet and piano, and we recorded it over 2 days in Tokyo in a hall, and then put it up on YouTube as a benefit concert to benefit people in the US and in Japan that were affected by COVID. So thank you both for those short pieces, and thank you for the other 40 composers as well. So Mike, tell us a little bit about In the Shame of Her Own Song. And I'm smiling as I say the title because there's a part in the piece, I don't want to give away too much, but there's this melody that comes in with the clarinet, thank you, and it just stays with your head, and you just walk down the street bopping to that melody. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and the opportunity to write that piece. I think you mentioned some titles of other pieces I've done for Tom. When we first started getting to know each other, I was a little bit more, I didn't know him that well, although I could tell we would be friends down the road. So, but over time, the 4 or 5 pieces I've written for you have gotten a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more like, I know this guy so well now, I can do whatever I need to do. Shame of Her Own Silence was part of that kind of transformation out of Mike, the professional composer, writing a piece for the professional international clarinetist, to writing a piece for a dear friend. I won't go into details about who the she is, or unnecessary. Right. It's not Miho, it's not my daughter, it's not my mother. But I basically wanted a piece that would be episodic and move from point A to point B without any transformation or evolution or elision. It just would kind of slide into each section, and I wanted the opening section to be mysterious and cautious, and then some violence, and then collapse into, as you mentioned, a tune. Probably in every one of my pieces there's some point where I just really need to do some kind of tune. And this was a doozy for me. I wanted to kind of conjure up that Howl's Moving Castle or Ponyo kind of what's the composer's name?
Miho Sasaki.
Yeah. Well, he's the director.
No, he's oh, that's right, Joe Hisaishi.
Joe Hisaishi, yeah. I wanted, in a way, for the audience to think, God, it sounds like, but they wouldn't be able to put their finger on it because I didn't take a tune, I created a tune of that style. And then basically the piece kind of collapses and calms down to create that tune, and then everything's going to be okay until the very end, and we get a couple of creepy chords and suspicious things that return in the last 5 measures to maybe let us know everything's not going to be okay. So a little cyclical in a way. It could start right as it began at the end.
So to our International Clarinet Association friends and colleagues, have a great weekend watching our music and our performances and everyone else's.